Right, forget your Fiestas, forget your Minis. We have a Daihatsu Copen which needs new wheel bearings, new wheels, it needs bodywork doing, and maybe some paint work. Maybe. I'm not sure what we're doing with the paint yet. Not today. But or today...
anytime soon.
Yeah, but today we are going to be doing wheel bearings on the Copen, at the very least getting all the hubs off, getting all the drums off, and getting it ready to be shipped off to a garage we are very friendly with, who is going to replace the bearings for us, because we have a workshop, but it's quite small.
Yeah, and we don't have a bearing press.
We haven't got bearing press.
Or anything like that, so.
We haven't got the tools we need, but we're giving it a go anyway.
Reason being, as well, it's about to destroy itself, I think. One last motorway drive, maybe, and it will blow up on those terrible bearings, yeah. Okay, so Cillian's just going to be pulling the car in now. Yeah, we're not really going to be doing much more today, probably, than putting it on stands, taking the wheels off, seeing if we can get the hubs off, but the assemblies do need to be broken down before we can send them off. Here he comes now.
God, this is awful driving. Now, this is my 2005 Daihatsu Copen. For those of you who don't know, this is a 0.6 litre dual overhead cam, 4-cylinder turbo engine. This thing is a little weapon. Standard, they're about 64 horsepower, 20 years ago. Mine was running 9 PSI boost from factory. It has a boost T in it and a HKS intake with a straight pipe 2-inch exhaust. Still has the cats, so not necessarily straight pipe, but a lot more free flowing than it was. Supposedly, according to internet forums, if you believe them, it makes about 85 horsepower now. This thing's an absolute weapon. It's been wrapped in metallic dove blue from Oracle with some 7J wheels, which as you can see, I cambered as hell to actually make it fit because it came with 4Js as standard. And we need to get this thing up in the air. We need to get it on jack stands and start ripping suspension off. George is coming into frame with the jack.
Here we go.
He's too tall for the camera.
I'm really tall.
Let's get this thing up in the air. Car's up in the air now. The wheel bearing is making quite a horrible noise when you're driving and you turn left just a little smidge. Also under very, very light braking, it sounds bad. I'm saying it's the wheel bearing. I'm 90% sure it's a wheel bearing, but I have no idea. So we're gonna start the car and we're gonna lightly apply the brake and see if we can figure out what this noise is from. This car in the past has had drive shaft issues because of the camber at the front, although it's only running about -6 degrees, it's not a horrendous amount. So yeah, we're gonna start her up, apply the brake, see if the mics can handle the noise of the car. It should be fine, but we'll figure that out and go from there. Let's start her in second. Right, well the wheels are already wonky.
Wonky wheels.
Wonky wheels. Reps, of course, because we are broke. It's not doing the noise at all.
It's not really under any load.
Yes, it's the hard bit to diagnose. They're wonky though. Is the other side as wonky as that?
Let's have a look, let's see. Have we got even wonk?
It will be getting new wheels.
So how fast is that one spinning? Because this one's quite slow.
It's open diff.
Yeah.
Hang on, if I grab this one.
You gonna grab it? Oh, this one's spinning now.
Oh yeah, that one sounds bad.
This is the bad one?
That sounds
right,
real
okay,
bad.
let go of that one. Do you want me to grab this?
Or put your foot on it or something, so it don't...
Grab it with my bare hands?
Yeah. You got
Nothing
it?
over there? Yeah,
no, it's not making a noise at all.
Right, so stop that one. And this one's making some
It sounds
juddery
bad.
fucking noise.
That sounds real bad.
It's got to be this one. Let's have a look.
It's not good. Yeah, it's not good at all, is it?
No. Drive shaft looks fine.
Okay.
So probably the bearing.
Yeah, we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
Well, you did some drive shaft stuff on it before.
It's had new drive shafts. They
So
were.
like it
It's
can't
had,
really be the drive shaft.
it's had second-hand drive shafts, yeah.
So, assuming there was nothing wrong with the ones you bought.
Yeah, well, as you can see from me grabbing this side and nearly stacking it on my ass, that side sounds terrible. I don't know if the mic would have picked it up, but it sounds like scraping something along the
It's a
ground.
bit like crunchy, like, yeah, that's...
Yeah, that's exactly what it does.
That, but
yeah.
crunchy, yeah.
Perfect, right.
Which
Start with the
possibly
fronts.
a bearing.
Yeah, well, I have new bearings, so they're getting replaced. Let's start with the front. Let's get these wheels off. Let's start getting all the brake calipers, carriers, discs, pads out.
Give it a drive around.
Scrape it along
See
the floor.
if it's still making the noise.
That would definitely fix it.
If it's not, it's the wheels.
Right. It's taken way too long to get this far. Yeah. Right, let's get the brakes off. Let's get the calipers, carriers, pads, discs. Let's get all of that out. We'll start on this side. We'll do that side off screen because I've nowhere I can put the camera to actually see that side. And, well, it'll be easy. Of course it will.
I'll do the other side whilst you're doing that side.
Oh, there we go. Double the manpower.
Because no one's going to see this side anyway. What?
Okay. Right, so it's time to get these carriers off. Right. Top bolt for the caliper is going to be a 14mm.
Now you tell me.
You can't even fucking get it off. There's no room in here to work.
You can't get it off with that big one.
No, I can't get it off with a big one. There's no way you're getting it off with a small one, mate.
Oh yeah, I am.
Are you actually? There's no way.
Nah, not really, but like... I was actually just punching your coil over is what I was doing.
Just punching the coil over.
Yeah.
Can't be having that.
No, by accident.
It's custom BCs. Yeah, that sounds healthy. To be fair, the brakes weren't done that long ago. So this all should just come off quite easily.
Yeah. My ratchet's smaller than yours.
Is it? Right, because I'm way stronger. We have got, hand you down a little bit. We have got the brakes off this side. I will definitely be getting a new lens for this camera because these angles are awful. I'm holding it on a tripod. Yeah, we've got it all off. I need to get this big centre nut out now, which is crimped in there, and pull the drive shafts out. Oh, fuck. He loves little cars.
This thing
absolutely
is
loves
really
them.
awkward.
There he is.
Very awkward.
Come on, put that Franklin to work. Oh. Fucking hot drive shaft nut is 30 mil-ish. It fits. It might be a 28 or a 29, but a 27 don't fit, and I haven't got an in-betweeny size, so trusty Ryobi impacts that everyone is gonna hate. We'll crack these off, no problem. Watch it struggle. If it doesn't spin the drive shaft. Can I hold that? I don't know. Oh,
Easy peasy.
Yeah, when you hold the hub, not too bad.
What was that?
I don't know. Map gas, maybe?
Yeah.
Nice.
Easy.
Right, what we got? Daihatsu Copens aren't very complicated. So you have your knuckle at the bottom here, which hopefully you can see. You got a knuckle down there with a pin through the top of it. You got your toe arm over the back here, and you have the coilover bolts, and that's pretty much all that holds them in. There's hardly any suspension. Even the anti-roll bar at the front there is mounted on that bottom arm. Doesn't go up to your coilover or anything like that. So it should be quite an easy disassembly on this. These are going to be the crustiest ones, because these are camber bolts at the top here, so I can make the wheels fit.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Rusty.
Let's get these off with the biggest ratchet in the world. Tell you what though, they come off quite nice.
Yeah, it was surprisingly. You know what it is? You're not using the Franklin. The Franklin wrench is a bit...
Nah, the Franklin one's the best one, mate. That's had years of love, that has. It's going to be this bottom one, which is an OEM bolt that won't come out. I should just use a bigger ratchet, shouldn't I? For such a little car, that is on there tight, isn't it? It's weird, isn't it? We have power tools.
Yeah.
And we never use them.
You don't need them.
Ryobi gear though, that does come in very, very handy. It's been trusty.
I mean, you need an impact. Always need an impact. But you shouldn't really use it for everything. You can take everything out and try and loosen the hub off the drive shaft.
Yeah, that's the plan. Right, there's that pin out. What size do we reckon that'll be? A weird size?
Is that the anti-roll bar you're doing?
That is the lower control arm on the front here.
Can't see it.
And I have no idea what size that is. It's so deep in there.
Yeah, sort of sunken.
People are going to watch this with like a BMW. And they're going to be like, you fucking idiots, I have to take out 20 control arms to do this stuff. Or maybe it's a bigger one. Maybe it's a 17. Look at that. 17. You get it.
Oh, that moved.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Bit of tool on tool.
And if you fuck one up, Halfords will replace it, no questions asked.
As long as they don't see this.
Yeah, as long as they don't see this video.
You can use your screwdrivers and spanners as pry bars and hitting tools, as long as they don't see. That trick also works with the 14. Hold your toe arm on. That's tiny. It's not even flared.
No.
Oh, it's just... Maybe it used to be, I don't know. Right, are we going to start getting all this crap out of here?
Is it all loose?
Everything's loose.
I'm going to try and pry.
I think coilover. Oh, actually, I might have to take that ABS sensor out. I don't know how you take an ABS sensor out of one of these. Because that hub needs to come off, doesn't it? Yeah. You hear that?
Yeah, I do hear that.
Ugh. That sounds awful. Oh, success.
And they're quite crustily.
Right. So what I thought was the toe arm is actually the tie rod end. So, yeah, got that out though. Got all the bolts off, lower control arm, coil over, the nuts are off it, just need to hammer the bolts out. But George is now helping me get the ABS sensor out, which is just impossible to film with how small this car is. And it's absolutely wedged in there.
Oh, okay.
And Subaru did it better.
Have you got a second screwdriver?
I can get you a screwdriver.
Could you get me a second, even
What,
smaller?
bigger or smaller?
Smaller screwdriver.
Oh, well now you're asking for too much.
Oh, you got like just a tiny little one.
I do have, yeah, I do have tiny little ones.
Thank you.
It's George in all of his glory. Hunched in there. Speaking of which, we are going to need our little metal goblin to do some archwork. I might as well show that while we are in the terrible light of the back of the unit here. As we were talking about in the beginning of the video, if this will even focus, I'll put my hands there so it focuses. As you can see, we have some bubbling on the rear arch. Now this is wrapped, and this car did go in for paintwork before it was wrapped. And I don't know how we've actually got that, because on the inside here, there's dirt, but there isn't chunks of metal coming out. It's all just dirt. So I have no idea. That feels pretty solid. Although that does feel quite crusty. And it's the same situation on this side over here. If the camera will see, it will focus in there. It's even worse on this side, which is no surprise really, because I mean there's loads of dirt back here. But it actually feels more solid this side, but this is curbside, so it should actually be worse, but it's going up here now, which is an absolute nightmare. So this wrap needs to come off. Well, it doesn't need to come off, but this rear section of the wrap needs to come off, which means the rear quarter all the way down to the front sill does need to come off, which is interesting because the sills aren't crusty at all. There's nothing wrong with these sills. There's no rust underneath it. I mean, there's barely any rust when you come in here and look at all the hubs and things like that. All right, the bolts are and the coilovers maybe, but bodywork wise, it's quite good. So we are gonna have to go see our metal goblin, but that will have to wait until we have sort of disassembled the entire car, and the ABS goblin here has got that sensor out.
Fuck.
We will be back in 4 million years when
4
this is done.
days, yeah.
4 days, 4 million years. Yeah.
Right, so ABS sensor is out. Wasn't the easiest thing in the world. If you look it up on YouTube, you get some people tell you that you can't get these out without destroying them. That you can smack them out with a screwdriver from the front, but it destroys them. You can't really get these. You sort of have to buy the whole hub, which defeats the purpose of what we're doing here. But what we've managed to do with a lot of WD-40 and different sizes of screwdriver is if you can wedge a smaller one behind this sort of bit of the flange that the bolt goes through, you can gradually wedge your way around it, and from each side, as long as you can sort of hammer without scratching up all of this metal here, you can sort of hammer bigger sizes of screwdriver down until you've got enough space either side. You can gradually sort of pry left, right, left, right, left, right, very slowly until this comes out. It didn't remove the sheath from this, it did actually pull out the whole ABS sensor, so that should just go back in. And the front of it, all the sides of it don't really look scratched up or damaged, so you're fine putting a screwdriver in there, it seems. We'll see when it goes back on. But it's the front bit really that you don't want to mess up, because that's the magnetic bit But yeah, that should be fine. It took a lot longer than anything else, but it's out and it's not destroyed, which should save a lot bit of time and money. Trying to find another one of those sensors. But yeah, that is out. So round 2 on the other side.
George has amazingly got the ABS sensor out, which, as he mentioned, the internet said was virtually impossible, which is this piece here. It is damaged, so I don't know if it still works. And apparently they are just impossible to replace. I've got the whole hub assembly out as well. This lower control arm down here is so soft. It is leaking a bit of fluid, but I don't know if I can get hold of these. So we will simply find out. And here is the hub, if I can actually get it in frame. This will be super tough to do. But here is the hub. This is the driver's side that wasn't even that bad. And there is wiggle in it side to side that you actually couldn't feel on the car. But that's now ready to go off to the garage. You can sort of see some of the bearing juice has come out. There is no grease left in that at all. George is now working on this side. He has magically got the ABS sensor out of that side as well, which we can see here without damaging it. We just got to get this side out. I have new bearings and then it will be off to the garage to get them sorted out. But we started at 8 o'clock tonight. The time is now 10:30. The ABS wizard.
No, screwdrivers.
The screwdriver wizard, apparently. But yeah, it's nearly 10:30. Got to get this side out without mushrooming that lower control arm. And then it's calling it a night, isn't it? Mm-hmm. If we even get that far today, we might give up and continue tomorrow. But we will see. It is now 2 days later because work got in the way. We have both of the hubs off here now. This is the super mega damage one, which if I get close, that sounds super healthy, so I love that. This was meant to be the good one, which one way or the other does have some play in it. It doesn't sound too bad. I don't know if the mic will pick it up, but it does have a bit of...
Just a bit of a knock in there, really.
Yeah. I can't even.
There you go. Yeah, some in.
Can hear the knock on it. So...
But this one's crunchy.
Mega crunchy. Ugh. So we have new bearings. I can't actually remember what they're off of because you can't buy wheel bearings for a Daihatsu Copen. But if anyone is interested, these wheel bearings here are 35mm inner diameter, 64mm external diameter, and 37mm sort of height on them, I suppose. I got this. There's the part number. If anyone wants it, that gives you a bearing. You get a split pin for something. I don't know what for. You get a retaining clip for the bearing and you get a new drive shaft nut. So I suppose the next clip is going to be when these come back with shiny new bearings and no problems. Hopefully no problems. So we'll cut to however many days later again for fresh new wheel bearings and also new arms, lower control arms. I bought new ones because the bushings down there, if I can get some light on that, these ones here are destroyed. I can move them with my hands and they're awful. Day 3, which is actually probably a week later now.
We're back after a weekend and a few days to do the do.
We have the hubs back from Mark, who very kindly put in the new bearings. That's going to focus on George's face.
Yeah,
there we go. Brand new bearings. They're not making a horrible noise. They're a little bit stiff at the moment. They need to be bedded in a little bit. So today's plan is to actually not put these in.
Well, yeah.
Maybe
eventually. They might go in today.
But I also managed to get some new control arms from Autodoc, which unfortunately I can't get the anti-roll bar bushing because Daihatsu just don't sell it anymore. No companies make a replacement for it. So I'm gonna have to try and reuse the old ones if they're not too crusty. I did actually order the bushings, but I was sent the wrong ones.
I'll move my face.
It's never gonna focus on me. Whoop. There we go. Don't even need to focus on it because they're the wrong ones. But let's
Can't
get
anything for this car, can you?
No, I can't do anything at all. Japanese eBay is the best thing. So let's get the old arms out, the lower control arms, hopefully get the new ones in if they're not all seized and ruined, and then it's hub time. Right, this is the lower control arm on the Copen. So we've got a bolt and a nut back there, which is 14 mil, and then we got a 17 mil here at the front for the anti-roll bar. So let's try and crack it out. Big old crusty bolts. Now these could be seized into the bushing.
Yeah, potentially.
If they are, it's being done another day.
Yeah.
Oh, it does actually seem to be spinning quite freely. You can do the old Halford's trick of use the ratchet as a hammer.
Oh, the Halford's hammer.
Yeah, the old Halford's hammer. You get a whole set of them.
Oh, look at that. That's the
That's
easiest
easy
thing we've ever
peasy.
removed.
It is. No idea if that's focusing, but we're going with that. Can we get that to focus? Yeah, we can. There we go. There's your little 14 mil nut and bolt that holds that arm in. Oh, it should have a metal collar. Two bushings.
Moving freely.
Yeah, there is that one. That actually don't look too bad.
Looks
It's just the
fine,
back
actually.
side that's a
Yeah,
bit
a little bit.
crusty.
Not cracked.
It does need replacing, but it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. And then there's the inner one.
Ooh, almost. Oh, there you go.
There we go.
Easy.
What's the old arm?
No tutorials needed. No YouTube for that one.
Easy peasy. And then there's the other half of the bushing there. The inside one does have these little flared bits on them, but they don't actually look too bad.
And it's good to say that on camera so we can watch it back in case we forget.
Yeah. Yeah, so don't make the mistake I nearly just did. The arms are slightly bent towards the actual bushing side. They do bend one way or another. Hopefully I can get that in the frame enough. So they are handed left and right. Right, let's get that in there properly. There we go. Right, let's get that bushing there. The arm back over. And nut that goes on there. And for the anti-roll bar, we have that bushing,
A little metal plate.
which definitely fits. It's nice-ish. And a little bit of copperies on the end of that, just to stop that seizing up in the future. Daihatsu's the easiest thing to work on, unless you want to take an ABS sensor out, in which case you are screwed.
If you want to order any parts for it.
If you want to order parts, if you want to take an ABS sensor out, you are fucked. Happy days. That is how you get a lower control arm in a Daihatsu. Easy peasy.
I'll be watching.
Yeah. Right, I'm sweaty, it's hot, it's the summer. Now we need to get definitely in frame one of these hubs. They do have left and right written on them. Of course I pick up the wrong one. Right, that is the right hand side hub. Time to get that in. Getting a hub in is pretty much the same as taking it out. So we want to get all of this stuff nice and loose. I've brought over the bolts for the other side that I don't need. So let's get all of this stuff up and out the way. That has its little 14 mil on it there. And we have a new nut for the drive shaft here, which hopefully threads on quite nice. That's quite good actually. So let's get this hub nice and aligned.
Big nut.
Big nut.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's not too shabby, is it? Happy days. Right, I'll have to get the steering moved over to get that through. Right, I can get that big nut there started. Let's try and not kill you. Right. Let's get that perfectly lined up, if I do say so myself. Right, we have our camber bolt here because these BC coils do not give you the option for a camber top plate. And if you have a K car, you will automatically hot boy as fuck. Greased up as well. Oh, lovely. Let's try and get that bottom one.
Come forward or up? There we go.
Which will then allow us to hopefully wiggle that top one in. Perfection. There we go, now we're in. Lovely. Right, I couldn't be bothered to replace the steering tie rods, so that can be another day job. Hopefully this can get some... Nope.
Just spinning?
Just spinning. Oh, that was on like max setting as well. Brilliant. Good enough. Yeah.
Solid.
Problem fixed. There we go. That's pretty much all installed. All we have to do now is get the brakes on and we are good to go. Listen. That sounds terrible. The other side is flopping around. I was like, look how smooth that is. It's just flopping on the other side. So we will get the other side complete off camera. So all that needs to go back on this now is the brake stuff that you've already seen us take off and a little bit of alignment bits with this top camber bolt, which will just be cambered as max as it will give us really.
Yeah.
That ABS sensor can go back in even though it's pierced. So I have no idea if that's gonna work or if I'm in frame, but yeah. We'll get the other side done, we'll come back when the car is pretty much built. Okay, the Daihatsu is pretty much all back together. We got the new lower control arms in. The anti-roll bar bushings weren't actually that bad, so we just kept them. I can't get them anyway, so we had to do that. The ABS sensor, that's back in. Didn't really struggle to get that in, but they are sitting a lot further forward because we did have to hammer them out. They're not hitting the ABS ring, but I fear by driving it, they probably will eventually and just completely destroy themselves. So I've already got hold of Toyota in Japan and I've got new ones of them coming at some stage, but that'll probably take a couple weeks to a month at least. We got the brakes back on it. We've got all the coilover bolts back in as well. The top one is a White Line Racing 12mm camber bolt, so that is just maxed out on the camber. I think that's how I had it before, but I can't remember. We'll find out if the wheels hit or not. And then the hub and the bearings are back in. So we can come and have a look at this.
Scooch over.
Which is spinning quite nicely. The car is currently in gear, that's why it's a little bit resistive, and they are new bearings, so.
But not crunchy anymore like before.
Not crunchy, not horrible. So it's time to get those wheels back on, which definitely have more than enough tread on them. They will be going. And see what it's saying.
That was a bit close.
Yeah, see what it's saying. Hopefully it's not making horrible noises. I think we've done a good job. It's actually quite easy to work on. I was surprised. Normally our cars just can fall to pieces. But this surprisingly hasn't. Daihatsu have done a good job.
Even with the crunchy bearings, it stayed together.
Crunchy bearings. Yeah, Mark said they weren't difficult at all.
Yeah, so good car.
Good car. Buy yourself a Copen. Just don't copy my build. We have her back on the floor. I've added too much camber because the toe is massively out. And I've probably done, it's way worse this side than the other, but I can adjust that off of the steering rack. Me and this fella here are gonna take it for a test drive. Lovely. Let's take it for a drive, see if it tries to kill George.
Oh no.
We've been for a test drive. I added too much camber to the wheel, so it was hitting the coilover collar just up here, the bottom collar. I don't know how well you'll be able to see that.
Not much light over it.
Not much light, but hitting that bottom collar. The toe is also way too far out. I think because these arms at the bottom are different. So I'm now trying to pull the toe out, but that has been in there for a long, long time. Here we go. Hopefully you can see. So this was cambered too far in, started hitting the coilover collar there. So I'm now trying to crack these off. Well, I've cracked that main nut, but separating it from the actual bar is going to be the next challenge.
Fair enough. Just a little bit of heat.
Yeah, I need some gloves now. I'm putting my delicate fingies near that.
Hot nuts.
Hot nuts. God. If it looks good, we will roll with it. If it looks bad, we will go again. Pretty easy. Just fucking tedious. These lower control arms from Autodoc clearly are a different length.
Yeah.
Don't know. They're not OEM.
Very slightly. They still fit and you can still adjust everything, but...
And they were 12 quid, so...
Yeah, just
you
has to be adjusted differently, really, doesn't it?
Can't argue for £12.
Let's see how this is looking. Better.
Definitely better. Still towing out, but better.
Towing out, but more slightly. That's towing
Yeah.
out, but...
That's really
This
bad.
side is towing all the way out, cambered very much in. This one is more similar, definitely, to how it was previously.
Yeah, back up we go.
Back up.
Okay, so it's been, well, I don't know, another half hour, 45 minutes of heating up the tie rods and adjusting them. They have a 12mm hex key on them, which you can use to actually adjust, and then a 17mm locking nut. So I've got them good enough for now just to drive them, because before they were like that. So they're a lot straighter. They're still towing out slightly, which will just allow it to drive straight, but I also want to go home. So I've also stripped another wheel nut, so I'm gonna have to order a set of those. My tires are completely bald. I'll have to get a set of tires, which means I'm gonna have to run the old wheels for a little bit. Zoom in on that black Mishi nut. Mishimoto, if you're watching, these aluminium wheel nuts, not the one, I used to love them, but I've stripped 6 now, and your return policy and your warranty doesn't actually cover a full set, even though you've revised them for these new black ones. Just saying, just saying.
Doesn't make much sense.
£90 a set, you know, they're not cheap, even for alley nuts, so.
You're just running one of mine for now.
Yeah,
because
MX-5
we have the
nut.
same. We have the same. Mine are black. But
Yeah, so this will be dailied to work tomorrow. Hopefully nothing falls off it or does anything weird. I'm not holding out for them ABS sensors not destroying themselves. And I will get some new tyres from Faz. He'll sort me out. And I'll be running the stock wheels for a bit until I can afford some new shiny real chrome wheels instead of these fake. These have done me well, but they are buckled. All 4 of them, they go round like that.
When the car was in the
terrible.
air, there was a moment where I was thinking, oh, is the hub still fucked? But no, the wheels.
It's bad.
The wheels are buckled. But
Yeah.
very quiet when driving now, and before
It is fixed.
it was kind of juddery.
It's definitely fixed.
So the issue we set out to fix is fixed. Other issues with the different length of those arms, those new arms.
Less than 100 quid.
Yeah,
Wheel bearings, lower control arms, getting someone to press the bearings in, less than 100 quid, and in theory 2 days work if we actually locked in. 1 day work if you have a bearing press.
yeah, because we do only come down here after work. And
Yeah, we got 9 to 5, so we can't be.
yeah. During the
can't be
day,
doing
easy. This would have been done
Our garage would have had this done in about an hour.
in minutes. I mean, the energy
Yeah.
we'd have at the start of a day rather than the end of a full
Yeah.
9 to 5 day.
But we have it. It's working. I will. Whoa. I will add a bit in the video if I take it to work tomorrow and it falls on its ass. But it's looking good.
Looking good for now.